Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, the good news continues in terms of temperatures across the Canadian Prairie as we continue this warm up across the region. Again, that warmth expanding across western Canada into the western half of the U.S., still dealing with quite a bit of cold across the eastern half of the United States and then well north of the Canadian Prairie as well. As we look at the 6 to 10 day time frame, again, keeping that warmth and really expanding it northward, areas north of the primary prairie region, looking at a very warm end to the next week and early next week. Now, it will continue to be mostly warm across the prairie as well. You're seeing things move toward neutral across the southern prairie. That's going to be because of a hiccup here as we head into the middle part of next week as a little disturbance moves through, perhaps dropping some snow in portions of the prairie. Now, as we look at the precipitation forecast for the next 5 days, again, keeping things mostly dry across the prairie, but the exception is going to be the opportunity for some snow showers here as we head into the early part of next week, and then again a disturbance tracking right through this region that may bring another round of some accumulating snow to parts of southern Alberta into far southern Saskatchewan and then maybe far southern Manitoba. But that is going to be the primary forecast challenge here, is going to be trying to nail down that potential for some Tuesday, Wednesday snow across this region. Now, looking at the satellite picture here as we get the day started on Friday, continuing to watch a lot of moisture be lifted up and over the top of the Rockies here across British Columbia towards the British Columbia and Alberta border. Seeing a lot of cloud cover from that and some very light snow showers as well. So check in with the radar picture here. Are those snow flurries, those snow showers falling across the prairie? Heaviest here between Grand Prairie and Edmonton as we get the day started off to the north and to the west, but still perhaps seeing some snowflakes flying across this region as well. Perhaps even some rain showers as temperatures have warmed in this area, getting back over towards liquid precipitation in a lot of these lower lying areas. Now, as we take a look at the jet stream and where we're headed, again, the reason for the warm-up has been this subtle ridge across the region, a trough off to the east, keeping things cooler, again, in our region here down toward the U.S., the eastern half of the U.S., and then the eastern portions of Canada. But again, some warmth building underneath that ridge, and that is what has allowed for the warm-up here over the last several days. Now, where are we headed then over the next week or so? We'll play this out, and the good news is it's dominated by ridging here, but I guess maybe dominated might be too strong of a word because we do have these little troughs making their way through the flow. We have this first one here bringing some cloud cover and some light showers to the region here for the day Friday into Friday night. The ridge does return over the weekend, but then as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, here's that storm system, that little trough that we will have to watch for the potential for some snow across southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. That brings a bit of a cool down as well, but then as we head into Thursday, Friday, and into next weekend, seeing that ridge kind of take shape once again across the prairie. That would be yet again another warm pattern. So a bit of a hiccup in the warming. It's not just complete warmth as we head through the next 7 days. There's a bit of a hiccup mid next week, but then it does look like across the prairie here, across much of central and western Canada, upper level ridging is going to keep warm temperatures in the region. We can see that here if we look at our temperature anomaly forecast, and I'll go ahead and bring it back to today. Again, the red shading showing where we are above average, and that again is going to be heaviest or highest off towards the west and the east, with that upper level trough still dealing with cooler temperatures across Manitoba into Ontario. As we head through the weekend, bringing that warmth eastward into the entire prairie for the day Saturday, and then expanding it even more as we get into the early part of next week. This would be Monday, looking at temperatures above normal across the entire prairie. But then as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, again, here's that hiccup. The little disturbance moving out to the south does bring some cooler temperatures into the region. It's short-lived, however, though, as we get into Friday and Saturday, continuing to bring warmth back into the region. Now, where it might be slow to warm up late week could be southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan. That would be because of any snowpack that's left on the ground by this Tuesday, Wednesday storm system. So if we get 15, 20 centimeters of snow on the ground from this storm system, if it does perhaps, achieve at some of its current some of the current looks right now, or overachieve slightly, again, that could keep things cooler across the far southern prairie and wherever that snow is on the ground as we warm things back up during the last half of the week into next weekend. So now we can take a look at the precipitation forecast that accompanies all of this, bringing it back to today, looking at some of these light showers moving through southern Alberta. Snow off to the north, well north of Highway 16 across northern Saskatchewan into northern Manitoba. As we head into the overnight, some light rain showers making their way through southern and central Alberta into southern Saskatchewan as we get into the day on Saturday, but precipitation very light from this Saturday storm system making its way through the region. As we head into the day on Sunday, likely going to be dealing with some cloudiness, maybe some very light rain showers across Alberta into Saskatchewan. Again, cloudy with maybe some very light rain showers across this region. The heavier precipitation, once again, going to be north of Highway 16 in the form of some snow. As we get into the day on Monday, tracking through northern Alberta into northern Saskatchewan early Monday, making its way into central and northern Manitoba by Monday afternoon and evening. Snow tapers off across northern Alberta by Monday night, tapering off across northern Saskatchewan into northern Manitoba into the day on Tuesday. Now, this is when we turn our attention to the south. I'm going to cut the model off here on Tuesday evening because we start to lose a little of the confidence. We have some disagreement as far as how intense the storm will be, but we have some good agreement on the location here. Southern Alberta, southern Saskatchewan here dealing with some likely some late Tuesday into Wednesday accumulating snow, perhaps as much as 15 centimeters or so in the heaviest band here. Again, we'll just play out the snow forecast for the next week so you can pick out the corridor. Again, if we were to exclude that midweek storm system, it'd be yet another week with the heaviest precipitation well off to the north across northern Alberta into northern Manitoba with that strip of snow, generally less than 6 centimeters, but 6 centimeters or so at possible in the heaviest spot here over the next week. But what would be a dry week here, interrupted by some Tuesday and Wednesday snow across this region, heaviest in southern Alberta, trailing off across southern Saskatchewan, and then maybe, we can't rule it out across far southern Manitoba, but it does look like this thing wants to go south of the U.S. border by the time it gets that far east later in the day on Wednesday. We'll take a closer look then at the total liquid precipitation expected over the next 6 days here, taking it through Wednesday across Alberta. Again, this is that storm system here Tuesday and Wednesday, dropping a liquid equivalent of around 20 millimeters of precipitation. As you head north toward Highway 16, really trailing off, looking at a mostly dry week in that region. You have to head to far northern Alberta to get back into the realm of 10 to 15 millimeters of precipitation. Taking a look at the total snow accumulation forecast here again, the heaviest falling during that Tuesday and Wednesday storm system. If we just look at precipitation through Monday, it's a dry weekend and a dry start to the week across the prairie, across southern Alberta, maybe looking at some light rain showers over the weekend, but no snow accumulation forecast until we get into what would be Tuesday and Wednesday, looking at anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, perhaps higher in the heaviest section here, wherever that ends up. We'll take a closer look at this on Monday, of course. I'm not trying to just leave you in the dark, but as we get to Monday, we'll have much more agreement and a higher resolution look at where the heaviest snow is going to be, but perhaps as much as 20 to 25 centimeters of snow in the heaviest band here across parts of southern Alberta. Your high temperatures then for the day today, anywhere from 10 to 12 degrees across southern Alberta, heading northward into the single digits along and south of Highway 16. If you head north of Highway 16, high temperatures right around 0. Waking up tomorrow, temperatures right around 0 again, maybe below 0 as you head northward. But then high temperatures on Saturday rebounding to around 8 degrees south, 0 degrees near Highway 16. Overnight low temperatures on Saturday night into Sunday morning, right around 5, 6, 8 degrees across southern Alberta. And then as you head toward Highway 16, bottoming out around 1 or 2 degrees. And then for the day on Sunday, very similar, high temperatures around 5 or 6 in the central portions of Alberta, all the way down to 10 degrees in the south. Now flipping it over toward the east, we have a bit of a different look here. Again, that precipitation off to the north of Highway 16, that's where we could see anywhere from 10 to 20 millimeters of liquid precipitation. Along and south of Highway 16, looking at a mostly dry week, but maybe some light rain showers here falling as we get into the back half of the weekend here, Sunday into Monday. And then we will have to watch far southern Saskatchewan and then maybe extreme southern Manitoba for some midweek snow. So we take a look at the snow forecast here again along and north of Highway 16. Looking at snow accumulation of around 5 to 20 centimeters of snow in the heaviest band. And then here comes our Tuesday and Wednesday snow across southern Saskatchewan into far southern Manitoba. Much lighter in this area than we're looking at in southern Alberta. Probably looking at more like 5 to 10 centimeters of snow in the heaviest areas here in southern Saskatchewan, and then perhaps far southern Manitoba. Your high temperatures for the day today then, in southwestern Saskatchewan, you're the warm spot, right around 5 to 7 degrees, topping out below 0 in southern Alberta as we deal with this next wave, or this final wave of cold air off to the east. Overnight lows tonight above freezing in southern Saskatchewan, below freezing by a degree or two in southern Manitoba. Kind of neutralizing the temperatures here as we get a bit of that cloud cover and light shower activity, maybe some light snow showers for the day on Saturday, highs in the low single digits, dropping below zero overnight, and then Sunday warming up back to around 5 to 10 degrees in southwestern Saskatchewan, trailing off to highs a few degrees below zero in southern Manitoba. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Monday Morning Ag Forecast video, and that's when I will be back to talk about the Canadian Prairie as well, checking on that potential for some Tuesday and Wednesday snow across southern portions of the Prairie. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend.